Hello, welcome to Author in Me. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
So I'm Sanjana Karnani. I wear many hats. I'm on the school board for 3 UK schools. 2 of them are state school and 1 is a private school. I'm also trustee in a UK charity, and I am working very hard towards my own small business. But today I'm here in the capacity of my daughter's, I'm Diva's mother today, and nothing beyond that. So yes, I'm Diva Karnani Shah's mom. Just so nothing beyond that. I'm also here to just speak to a lot of people and tell them that it's very important, very critical to listen to your children when they are very little, very young. 5 to 7 is a very critical age. We think, oh, they're just children, they don't know much. But not really. They know a lot more than... that's the time they're discovering themselves. That's the time they really want to share with you. And you need to have your ears open at that time for them. I think it's critical to each and every parent sitting in this room. Listen to your children when they are little, when they are younger. It's very critical. They won't have much to tell you afterwards anyways.
So tell us a little bit, just remind us a little bit about Diva's journey and sort of how you helped her.
So Diva is not my daughter. She's Ekta and Monica's daughter, to be honest. They are the one who got her out of her shell. So Diva was 7 years old, and my husband was very big on making her do the 11 plus. And I was given the responsibility to sort out the creative writing. It was honestly the most stressful time of our life, but never mind. So one of my very good friends suggested, Author in Me, said, oh, they run a really nice creative writing course, why don't you send Diva there? And to be, in all honesty, just like any other Asian parent, and we've spoken about this since morning, my mind was about getting the creative writing done for 11 plus. So we subscribed to the course. The course didn't take place, if you remember, Monica. But I said, no, we'll do it. Whenever you have enough kids and you have the teacher in place, we'll do it. So finally the day came, Diva started going for the course, and she was a really shy child. She would hide under the table. She would hardly speak. I can't remember, her voice was so, she could hardly speak, and there was no confidence, let me be very honest. But she was very clever. She was very creative, but she really she didn't have the capacity then to express herself. She didn't have a voice of her own. And when she wrote her first book with Author in Me, it was called The Mysterious Island, and it's a beautiful story. She was only 7, and they did a little launch for her at the Hilton, I remember, in 2019, January. It was somewhere far in the south. It was a long drive from my house, that's all I remember. But and that's when it was launched, the book, The Mysterious Island, and that was the beginning of Diva's journey. And honestly, I can't thank Author in Me and these 2 beautiful ladies again and again for just changing my daughter's life. It was incredibly important for her to speak for herself, speak her mind, which was full of beautiful thoughts, but didn't have the courage, didn't have the confidence, didn't have the right words in her mouth. And that little launch event was the trigger point for her, really. She spoke for a couple of minutes there, and after that, we did have a lot of opportunity to go and do book readings for Diva. She went to the Bhavan, and she did a couple of readings online, because we also went into COVID after that in 2020. So there was a lot of opportunity. She was talking to people. All of a sudden, my daughter had started talking. She had this toy, her little book, and then she was just taking it everywhere in the world and talking about it. And that gave her so much confidence. That gave her also, she experienced a lot of love from the community, from so many other people, because everybody thought that was some achievement at the age of 8. I don't like to talk about awards. I think they are what they are, but she is an award-winning author. She's got 2 awards. And thanks. But I think as a parent, yes, we enjoyed the fame, the recognition, but what we enjoyed the most is our daughter growing up into a beautiful young lady, all thanks to Ekta and Monica. They did a wonderful job. The second book, Pocolombo de Vesuvius, sorry, it's so hard to pronounce, Diva. I don't know who gave you that title. I just struggle all the time talking about it. But it's an amazing journey. She loves history, and it's all about Mount Vesuvius. And it did give her a lot of joy and pleasure doing that book because she loves history. So writing, in the morning we were talking about, Asian parents want their children to become doctor or, some respectable profession, as we call it. And I want to say this to everybody here, I take a moment and say this to everybody here, that it's so important to pursue your dreams. Whether you want to become an author, whether you want to become a makeup artist, or whatever else you want to become. Writing goes parallel to whether you want to become a doctor, an engineer, or whatever. It's a life skill. It's got nothing to do, it just runs parallel to any profession you think is respectable, your parents think are respectable for you to pursue. So it's not something you have to say, I want to be an author. You can be an author irrespective of whatever else you do in your life. So that's very critical. And then coming back to a personal thing I want to share with everybody. While she was enjoying all her fame with 2 books, and these were children's book, picture books, very nicely illustrated by Ekta and Monica, we had a very sad incident to go through. Diva's daddy was ventilated in January 21, and she was traumatized. She had a very difficult time then. It's very hard for a 10-year-old to accept that they're going to lose their parent. But here comes Sarah Musi, Ekta, and Monica again to her rescue. They did this amazing course, all online, on Zoom, where she wrote her first novel and her 3rd publication, The Space Orb. And, she was so, it did help her get her mental health back in place. And I've never shared this with anybody, but I don't mind saying this to this forum because it's so important that people understand that writing is just not about publication or expressing your views, but through that expression, you're actually also looking after your mental health, because we all have so much to say, but we don't say it. And that course just came at the right time. She did it, and she's made this lovely book, The Space Orb, out of it. And I'm so grateful. Then she was so excited to do the launch in December last year. But these are very emotional moments. As a mother, I can say the journey has been incredible. She's got the confidence, she's got the expression, but also she's got a method of managing her emotions. And honestly, this is something no other profession can give you. So all the parents who think, this profession will bring respect to my child. But I think we need to focus on the happiness, we need to focus on expressions, and we need to focus on things which actually make our children speak to the world. I think it's important that you allow your children to speak through the world, whether it's through blogs, through books, or through whatever else, So with that, do you want to ask me anything else?
That's incredibly, incredibly powerful to hear that journey and how it's come about. And we've sort of touched on a little bit of storytelling and well-being, and that story just completely underlines that yes, you can get published, yes, you can create an actual book, but even just and in fact Dylan's quote about don't keep the story inside of you, whatever it is, bring it out and express, it's a form of expression, and that's absolutely wonderful. So any advice, just one last sort of piece of advice that you would give to any parents that are still a bit unsure perhaps of what to do if their children want to write?
I think writing is one thing. I think one advice I'll give all parents is to let your children be. Let them be. This morning, Diva was speaking on diversity in publishing. And honestly, I had no clue what she was talking about. Because We came here, I knew she'll do something, you know. So give your children that little leeway. You know, as parents, we try to manage our children's life too much. And to be honest, it only creates disaster. I've learned that with doing it myself. I've done that mistake already. And I'll just say that let them be. You know, she came here on the stage. She had written a speech, apparently. She was saying that I had written something, Mummy, but I completely changed it because when she came here in the morning, there were some amazing speakers. She heard all of them. And when she came on stage, she just said what she wanted to say at that point of time. Okay, it might not be the most perfect speech. She might have made some mistakes, but it doesn't matter because it came from the heart. And I think that is what matters. Let your children do what they want to do from their heart. You know, I think that's my only advice, whether it's writing or, you know, anything else, art or whatever it is. And nothing is small and big. I think if it gives them happiness, if they're able to express themselves through it, that's it. You know, I think you only need to give them a platform of expression as a parent. That's your job, not to control them.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely wonderful. And I think also we can take it to the next step. And I've mentioned this before. We've talked about letting the children write and embracing their writing. But let's do the final thing and read what they've written as well. It's important that we encourage them to do it, but we listen and read to what they've written as well. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Diva, for being amazing as usual.